For God in his wisdom made it impossible for people to know him by means of their own wisdom. Instead, by means of the so-called foolish message we preach, God decided to save those who believe. Jews want miracles for proof, and Greeks look for wisdom. As for us, we proclaim the crucified Christ, a message that is offensive to the Jews and nonsense to the Gentiles. But for those whom God has called, both Jews and Gentiles, this message is Christ, who is the power of God and the wisdom of God. For what seems to be God's foolishness is wiser than human wisdom, and what seems to be God's weakness is stronger than human strength. Now remember what you were, my friends, when God called you. From the human point of view, few of you were wise or powerful or of high social standing. God purely chose what the world considers nonsense in order to shame the wise, and he chose what the world considers weak in order to shame the powerful. He chose what the world looks down on and despises and thinks is nothing in order to destroy what the world thinks is important. This means that no one can boast in God's presence, but God has brought you into union with Christ Jesus, and God has made Christ to be our wisdom. By him we are put right with God. We become God's holy people and are set free.
I probably wouldn't be here if the Jubilee wasn't here, because I don't know what I would have done once I got out there. I didn't have family in this town, so I don't know where I would have went. You know what? I'm not really sure. I don't think I've ever asked that question. I don't think I've ever asked myself, why are these people doing this?
Main theme is how do we proclaim Jesus to the people that we meet in our community and in prisons. That's our main theme.
As you know, Jubilee is a prison ministry, so when there's many people in prison who are getting ready to come out and they have nowhere to go because they burned all the bridges you can possibly think of are burned. They have nowhere else to go.
We have chaplains in 7 different prisons, and there we try to meet the men and women in those prisons and help them to understand who Jesus is.
We seek to be the Church of Jesus Christ behind bars. Everything the church is on the outside, we want to be here. So we offer Bible study, worship services, individual counseling, prayer time, Christian literature, Bibles.
If it wasn't for some of the people at Jubilee who worked for Jubilee and showed me love, then I probably wouldn't be here. So I do it for other people,
As the chaplain for the men at LCCF, which is Lebanon County Correction Facility, I have the opportunity of leading some Bible studies for the men. As well, there's the opportunities of doing counseling, doing parenting class, anger management. I feel like I'm like a mediator between the prison and Jubilee in that I get to help out guys with their home plans.
The reason I got involved is because I came from prison too. At one time I broke the law, I went to prison and came out, and Jubilee helped me.
If a person wants to continue beyond the prison experience and help them transition back to society, we offer programs here in Lebanon to help them do that. We have a 6-month program which is called the Transition House, which we help them. They don't have to be Christians to come there, but we help them start over.
The men and the women that don't have nowhere else to go can come here. One of the very few places where you don't have to have upfront money. There's a lot of transition houses or halfway houses that you can go, but you need money to go there. You don't need that here. You submit an application and we'll review it, and if you qualify, then we'll accept you. But basically, it's for people who have nowhere else to go, who family has not necessarily given up on them, but they don't want them at their homes. So then we'll give them an opportunity at the transition. I remember the Pharisees asked Jesus, they didn't ask him, they actually said, hey, why are you eating with those people? Why are you eating with sinners?
When I first heard the song Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me, I was not prepared to admit I was a wretch because I had not heard the good news of Jesus Christ.
Jesus' response was, hey, I didn't come here for the healthy and the well-off. I came here for the sick. And we're all sick, but these are men and women who have nothing, and they need Jesus. So
but when I heard the good news and connected with that myself, I was addicted to alcohol. And I say that God took my desire to consume alcohol and just transformed it into a consuming desire for Him and for the lost.
If you don't think that they can do what you're doing, then what do you have to offer them? You know what I mean? Like, they gotta see, hey, I want what he has, and then you tell them how you got it. Jesus, that's where it started for me.
How is it that we are strongest only when we recognize and admit and surrender our weaknesses?